I can't be the only one, right, that always gets worried every time they make a live-action version of a famous manga series. So today Netflix released the live-action film version of Fullmetal Alchemist. It actually came out fairly recently, came out in December in Japan, so it's actually a pretty quick release over, from overseas to over here. Now, I've been a fan of Fullmetal Alchemist for a really long time. I mean, I read all the manga, I watched both animes. I think Brotherhood's better, by the way. You know, the movies as well. I haven't watched any of them in a long time, so bear with me if I get some things incorrect, but I don't think that should be a problem. I do remember reading that it's supposed to cover about a third of the source material. I mean, obviously you can't fit the entire manga's run in one movie, so I think they just adapted about a third of the material. But let's move on to my thoughts about the film. The film overall wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. I mean, I went in with low expectations, but I mean, as a fan of the source material, they really didn't change like anything that's too drastic other than they omitted like Scar and King Bradley and Armstrong's not in it. So if you're a fan of those characters, you're going to be disappointed going into this film because they're not in it. What's kind of interesting is there's a bit in the beginning that I feel was very like Pirates of the Caribbean-esque, because it's just like, you know, this Pirates of the Caribbean style theme, and Edward's just running through the streets while it's blasting. It's like this big epic action scene. I was like, this feels like Pirates of the Caribbean to me. Like he's running through the streets like he's Jack Sparrow. I mean, that might just be me, and I've watched too many Pirates of the Caribbean films, but I thought I got a Pirates of the Caribbean vibe. That was kind of weird. Just to get this out of the way, it does look a little weird, the guy that plays Edward, because his costume is a little cosplay-ish, like something you'd see at a, you know, a fan convention. But, I mean, you kind of get used to it after a while in the film. But by the end, I kind of just stopped caring about the wig and the outfit and all that, because he played the character decent. I mean, he doesn't have as much charisma as I've, you know, come accustomed to with Edward from the anime, well, both of them. But, I mean, he plays it straight for the most part, so, I mean, he was fine. Like usual, though, when it comes to adapting any type of manga or anime into a live-action film, it does become hard to try and condense all of this material and fit it into, like, a 2-hour movie, when most of it's, you know, obviously most animes are, you know, they're episodes. It's a television series. They have a lot more time to build all of this, and they don't gotta force it all into a thing. So when you try to take all the stuff from the manga and the anime, and you're trying to, like, make a cohesive narrative into this film that you're trying to show, probably, you know, obviously people that are fans of the series are gonna see it, but not everybody that's gonna see it is a fan already. So you're trying to, like, get them into it by showing them the stuff, but the highlights, I guess, so to speak. When you do this, it just ruins the pacing of the film, because they just breeze through events that happen, like, they take up, like, whole episodes in the anime, breeze through it, like, 5-10 minutes, like it's nothing. And that felt like that was kind of annoying. They'll breeze through some parts, but then they'll spend so much time with exposition on different other things that aren't as important. And since there's so much exposition, they kind of, like, toss action scenes to the side, you know, large chunk of the movie, which is disappointing, because a good amount of the action scenes in this actually weren't that bad. I mean, the film is over 2 hours long, so they kind of knew they had a lot of time so they could build all this exposition dump and all that. But, I mean, I could have, you know, a little more action would have been nice, too. I mean, just saying. And moving on to the CGI, I'd say it's hit and miss, to be honest. Some stuff looks good, some not so much. A lot of the scenes with alchemy were actually pretty well done as far as CGI goes. I actually didn't think Alphonse's metal armor suit didn't look that bad to me in a lot of the scenes. There are some scenes where it's, like, not that great of CGI, and you can kind of tell it's, you know, there's nobody there. Especially in there's, like, one scene where they're, like, him and Edward are talking, and they kind of, like, fight. And you can obviously tell that, like, that's not really there. But, I mean, it's okay. Now, there is an unrelated bit towards the very end of the film where the CGI kind of goes to complete garbage. But, I mean, it's only for probably, like, a minute or two, and then you don't see it ever again. So at least be grateful for that, I guess. That's why I think it's just okay. Because, like I said, some stuff's good, some stuff's garbage. Although there's definitely some flaws with the film, I definitely didn't think it was as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, yeah. I mean, there is obviously hope for a sequel. They do leave it open for a sequel. And if they tweak a couple things and, you know, build upon what they started with this, I think it could not be that bad of a sequel, if I'm being honest. So as far as score goes, I'd have to give Fullmetal Alchemist a C. But yes, it comes out today on Netflix, so definitely check it out if you get a chance. When you do, leave a comment, you know, what you thought about the film. Leave a like if you liked the video, and hit that subscribe button. Until the next time, I'll see you guys later.